Welcome back, everybody. Automotive Inc. Today I'm going to show you how to properly load and prime a pistol grip grease gun. Now this procedure will work on just any grease gun unless it doesn't have a plunger on it, which some of the smaller ones do not. Now this is your standard size, so when you're doing a RV axle or something, it's probably going to be this. And then this actual kit came with a lot of different fittings, so you can do your frame and stuff, because obviously you can see this long rod on here for the pistol. That's going to help me do my Dexter E-Z lube axles. Now before we get too far involved, if you don't mind smashing the subscribe button, helps a small channel out, thumbs up and notification bell so you don't post new content. Now I'm going to link all of this on down below in the description from the Zahn. For less than 30 bucks you can get 2 tubes of Lucas Tacky Red and this thing with all of these fittings. So you can get all of these fittings so you can do underneath your truck, your boat, your tractor, whatever the hell else you got working on here. So make sure you subscribe. Now, this video will also have the link down below on how to lube your Dexter E-Z lube axles on your RV or your trailer. It's kind of an ingenious thing, but this one's just going to be an easy how to load this grease gun, because if you don't do it right, more than likely you're going to have problems. And again, if you have problems, more than likely it's air. So first things first, if you buy a new one, make sure you put some Teflon tape on all your fittings and get them tight. Don't over tighten them. And we'll just go over this actual grease gun real quick. All right, so most grease guns, if they're pistol grip, they might have this little catch on here. This is nice to be able to put in, so wherever you set this thing, it's not sitting there working on it. My old one that had the big bar, every time it would fall over, lay down, it would squish some more grease out. So you have your plunger rod, your release for your plunger rod. You have your air bleeder valve over here. Now this one specifically can be bulk loaded, so if you have the ability, if you work at a shop and they buy bulk in a 50-gallon drum oil grease, you can do that. You have your inside tube, and you can see right here, there's our plunger diaphragm, if you will. So find out what fitting you want to use first, and I would get probably some type of Safeway bag once you're done with this thing to put it in and keep it safe. And if it does leak, if it has some pressure in there, then you'll be protected. Now the kind of grease that I'm going to use, I typically use is, I like a lot of Lucas products. I think for most stuff it's pretty good. We have a good actual drop point here where basically the grease becomes past its usability and loses it. Now if you do a boat trailer, you might want one that has marine grade grease in it, because you'll be dunking that bad boy in some water. But you can use that for however you want. Now you can use marine grade grease also in your RV axle if you choose. A lot of those do have a little bit lower drop point, and this is pretty good for basically, you know, anti-seize. It has good resistance when it comes to some moisture and stuff like that. And most RVs aren't going in the water, at least unless you're having a bad day. Then it's not going in the water. Now, in your garage, I have these cheapo latex gloves. I had an extra pair because this first pair is going to get chucked as soon as I get this thing basically started. And but I do like the thicker 9mm nitrile gloves because they just fit better. They don't tear. I usually wear those. So first things first, get whatever lube that fits your application, and you're going to tear this bad boy open. And basically what we're going to do is we're just going to peel this label off. You're going to have two ends. One has a little catch on it right here. This is your top end. This is going to go on the top end of the grease gun, so I'll show you that here in just a second. So I'm going to get this open the rest of the way. All right, so we're going to leave this cap end on for now, and you're going to get in here. Now you can see that there's already kind of a pocket right there that's going to potentially cause some air. So I took off all the wrapping on it. It's just going to ease when we take this thing back out of the tube. Your tube may not be plastic, it may be cardboard, it's irrelevant. Now go ahead and save this because we're going to need this, especially if the grease gun's never been used. This is a brand new one, so we're going to hold on to that. So you can see right here our little plunger, and this is where we're going to use that extra grease here. We're just going to grease around this right here, the actual diaphragm of this. And you can be liberal because guess what? That's where the grease is going to be poked up and shoved anyway. So then after that, if your grease gun's been used before, you don't necessarily have to do all these extra steps. But for the most part, if you got a new grease gun, you're going to want to do this. So inside this cap, we're going to smear some grease on these dimples also. And I will tell you, this shit gets everywhere. So if you don't like grease on your britches or your shirt, then wear something you don't like, or be extra careful when it comes to that. Once you've smeared everything up, you can dispose of this cap. Just don't drop it on the floor, because this stuff gets everywhere and it's made to stay in the bearings and handle heat, so you guarantee it's going to be hard to clean up. Now you might be wondering why my garage is a mess, because I'm working on the RV, I'm working on everything, I'm working on the truck. But it's irrelevant, man. Who cares how the chicken sandwich is made as long as it's delicious, all right? So you're going to take your open end tube here. You need to pull your plunger all the way back until it latches with this catch right here. Now I will tell you this, don't mess around with this plunger out, this and the top of the tube empty, because this thing can come down and smack your finger. It's been done, I've seen it been done, so don't mess around with that. But make sure you got it pulled all the way out there, and it's good to go. Now, if you wanted to, you can remove this bottom cap on a lot of these and grease that, but you don't necessarily need to. Take our open end of this, we're going to drop it in, and we're going to get it latched in there. Your top of the tube sits right there, okay? So then from here, all we got to do is basically peel this cap away. Now, if your grease gun's brand new, more than likely this plunger, we can see it, that it's already kind of wanting to work its way out. So we're going to get this cap removed. All right, so now that we got the cap off, we go ahead and put this back on. If this keeps working its way out, you're just going to have to do it fast. That plastic cap was a little bit tougher to pull off than the metal ones. So once you get that done, you don't want to get this all the way tightened. The reason being is because we're going to have it work some air out of this. So I tighten it hand tight and I just back it off a couple here. And then from here, you can take your ring off of your pistol grip. And then from here, I see all kinds of wonkiness going on where people are leaving this plunger out and trying to prime it. You're not going to get a lot accomplished there. We need that driving force pushing back up. So from here, we can go ahead and hold this back and let it release. You're going to hear some air push up in there. And then we can see a little bit of a dimple of grease popping out there, which is completely normal as this kind of works its way in. And then you're just going to basically push the air out of the system. Now you may want to put some drop cloths around just in case this squishes out. It's completely normal. So we're going to go ahead and release this the rest of the way. All right, so once it's loaded, you should be done here, meaning this should be in all the way. It should be tight. And then you can work this back and forth a few times to keep packing that grease up in there if you want, but you're going to need to really kind of just bring it back out, push it, bring it back out, and push it. Like I said, you're not going to get much done if you leave that plunger out. Then once you get done there, you can wipe off this residual that's coming out this little bleeder valve. You have an air valve here, and then the rest of it, you're just going to go over to something that you don't want to keep. I wouldn't necessarily put this in the bottom of your trash can without something to catch it on, but you're just going to go over there and you're just going to work this grease until it comes out smooth. So you're going to pump it, pump it, pump it, and eventually the grease is going to come out. Again, you can work your plunger more to get the air out and do all of that. Once you get that primed, you're ready to rock and roll. Make sure you have the correct tip that you want on there if it comes with more than one tip. And that's how you do it. So less than 5 minutes. Again, don't mess around with this until the tube's in there and the caps are on. Don't just let this smack back and hit you in the fingers. You'll be sad. As always, guys, make sure you check out the Dexter E-Z Lube Axle how-to. And we're going to get going on this. We're going to clean up that little bugger there. And just remember, don't get this shit on stuff you don't want it on. Guys, we'll catch you on the next one.